Well, a very good morning, everybody, for Monday, the 29th of August. Yes, I'm back from Keevil after a fantastic junior nationals, my last, sadly. I'm no longer a junior, really, as of next year, sadly. So, what have we got? Well, this season just keeps on giving, and we've started to pick up the high pressure, sort of Scandinavian high, started to pick up still a fairly easterly flow, and that easterly flow will continue to increase a little bit more through the day. Bit more low pressure over central Iberia and into France, but that we seem to be in some good air for the next few days at least, so I can't really complain there. Those winds, well, as I said, a little bit stronger in the centre of the country, looking at around 15 knots, maybe 20 as you get slightly closer to the coast. When I flew yesterday, it was a good 15 knots at flying heights on our task up towards Ulster and Redditch. Satellite picture over the UK. It's a bright start here at Lasham. Surface heating getting up right from the word go. You can see that there is a bit more thicker cloud over London, up and towards Cambridgeshire and up towards Birmingham, but in our area it's going to get going hopefully reasonably quickly and out into the Cotswolds as well. Good day if you're at Keevil as well, as I know there's a few of you launching out of there. The public forecast says 20 degrees today. That's easterly wind at about 10 knots, good visibility and a mixture of sunny spells and cloud. GFS predicts if we just get a little bit more sunshine, a bit less cloud, we might see 22 to 23 degrees and dew points sitting around 7 to 8. Currently at Lasham, we have a temperature of 16.5 and a dew point of 12.5. And that is the picture outside. It's looking all very nice and pretty, nice and sunny this morning. It's also nice to see the airfield a bit green again. When I left about 10 days ago now, it was still very burnt to a crisp. So I'm pleased to see that the ground is getting some water at last. There wasn't too much in David's forecast, but looking at the models, it looks like a reasonably good day, and we'll have a look very shortly at Top Meteo and Skyside. Looking at METARs, we've got Farnborough here that says they got a northeasterly wind and they're looking at a few at 3,000 for most of the day. We'll just have a look in the centre of the country at Bryce Norton, a few at 3, scattered at 5, and they're talking about a few at 4.5 today. So yeah, looking like a really nice day. Potential flight distance for an 80-metre glider looks something like that. We're sort of on the corner of the good air, given it's a reasonably strong easterly, that sometimes does happen, but good down into the West Country and up and towards Wales and towards sort of Cosford area, and with a start time of that's 10 o'clock, still sort of low level queue at that point, so probably only soarable to maybe 2,000 to 2,500 feet. But by midday, we're looking at queue to around 3,500 feet, and later this afternoon, looking very good indeed. It's 5,500 to 6,000 feet, quite widely in our area, out towards the west and out in towards Wales. And down to the West Country, so very nice. Out to our east, as you'd expect in these conditions, not so good, and Cambridgeshire and the eastern coast of the country looking a lot poorer. It's sort of 5 o'clock, still going, 6 o'clock, still going, but by 7, I mean, this is August now, or late August, early September, so just bear in mind that it will shut off fairly quickly now. So not a day to be out particularly late. Let's have a look at the other model. So I'll just get Skyside up for you. I'll get some note outs for you. So Skyside very much similar to Top Meteo in its prediction for today. Your best area looking, ignore the task on there, that's just something I put in earlier in the week. Again, out to the West Country, not quite as far. This is showing as sort of North Hill was about as good as it gets, but out to Talgarth and Shopton and up towards the Mind, looking quite doable. But there's definitely a line just north of Bicester to our northeast, which is looking poorer in that northeasterly air. If we look at start time of sort of 12 o'clock or so, Lasham starting to get horrible. Height of thermals at that point, looking around 3,000 to 3,500 feet. By 1-2 o'clock, looking widely across the west of England, 1,700 meters, that's around 5,000 feet. And maybe even isolated spots where it's 6,000. So this predicting that things may be a little bit lower than it says on the other model, but still cumulus looking like it should be quite nice. It was a little bit tricky at times yesterday to get up to cloud base, so maybe similar sort of thought today. Over developments, not too much. Yes, it might get sort of 4/8 or so at times, but it does look like a reasonable day. I don't think we're seeing any spread out, and there's no such risk of high cover as we had yesterday. And cross-country speeds looking quite widely to be good during the day. And you can see on here it's sort of at sort of 2 o'clock in the afternoon that cloud cover it's showing not even 4/8 cumulus, it's showing sort of 2 to 3. So yeah, and blue in some areas as well. So yeah, not really too much to stop that heating. Convergence. Might be some convergences just to our southeast, but nothing of note really. Southwest coast convergence near North Hill that normally sets up in that wind, given the slight northerly we have. So all in all, reasonable day. And if I show you the finally point forecast for the, let's just go in the middle of the task area. You can see there that's yeah, reasonable climbs, sort of 4 knots or so, and to reasonable heights up to yeah, sort of 5,000 feet. And it's UT for you as well. Let's go for 3 o'clock. I think you get the picture. It's good. Right, let's go on to airspace then. Just have a quick look, check that there is nothing of note today. Let's have a look here now. So let's go around the board. So 30, just north of us, equestrian event, typical, that needs to be taken out. Fairford is active, has been active quite a bit recently. Of course, it might be Bank Holiday Monday for us, but it isn't for the Americans. 36 and 33, these are probably all paragliding NOTAMs, and yeah, lots of paragliders at South Cerney, so they're not parachuting, but they are doing paragliding. Fly past at Uffington White Horse at between 15:45 and 16:30. Probably Battlebridge Memorial flight, something like that. Looking just north of the areas, I imagine that's all paragliding or fly past. Yeah, lots and lots of fly pasts today, all over Oxfordshire. So all throughout the day. So I don't think that'll probably be too much of a problem. Danger areas. Let's just go through those. Danger area activity info available on London Information, and Salisbury Ops is closed. And actually, look at that, they've reduced the upper limits of Imber and Larkhill. This is quite rare to 30,000 feet. Oh, I thought it was 3,000 feet. Oh, that's not very useful for you then. No, not even point lowering it. And 28. It still says a competition at Keeble. There isn't. Though there might be some flying out up there. Down the West Country. Yeah, there's no real significant things, and I'm not aware of any restricted area temporaries. I'll just have a quick look at it on SkyDemon just to check. So yeah, Fairford's active. Lots of gliding going on down at Isfield, that's near Dorset, but there doesn't appear to be any restricted areas within the task area. So yeah, looks like a reasonable day. Check the NOTAMs for your area. Okay, finally, just for today's setup, we are going to be runway 09. We've got a 10 knot easterly. The grids is going to go on the grass today. We've got a jet movement at about 11:15, which is always a bit of a pain. Hopefully the jet arrives before the grid goes. It's a bit tricky to try and get you all in the air at the same time, as I'm sure you understand. If you want to start, George Metcalf says the fair's only active till 9. Potentially they have been extending it a lot recently, so just bear that in mind. But yeah, from the front of the grid, just in line with the middle sort of Arcus hangar, and we'll launch towards the east. When the jet comes into land, they're going to put the lights out just off the runway, so just make sure that you don't go in that red box as such, because otherwise it's just a pain and the jet can't see the lights because there's a sea of white gliders there. So nice and compressed, please. 2-line grid on that side, and we'll get you launched with as many tugs as we've got. But otherwise, 09 normal setup. Looking like a really nice day. Make the most of it. Rare bank holiday that is this good. So I'll see you on the grid shortly. Bye for now.